it. Good afternoon. Welcome to the State in History, aka TDH. I'm Alexander. We will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. And you viewer, of course, you, thank you for so much for coming in and watching. This show is about interesting and important events that occurred on this calendar date throughout the annals of recorded history. And before we start, today is Freya's Day, right? Yeah, Friday. March 6, 2026. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You are?
Golden Loon.
Yeah. So, let's start on to this, shall we? In the year 12 BC, the Roman Emperor Augustus was named Pontifex Maximus, incorporating the position into that of the emperor.
Sure wasn't Glutibus Maximus?
Well, that just makes him an ass.
Wow. What a way to start.
Well, at least we didn't go up in flames.
No. Not yet.
Another Glutibus Maximus story, though?
No.
The toilet?
I got it.
632, the farewell sermon, the Khutbah Wada of the Islamic prophet Muhammad occurred. All right. And that's about the right time, you know, so I guess that's like the last sermon he did. 845, the 42 martyrs of Amorium were killed after refusing to convert to Islam. So, you know, remember these faces, everybody. This is what happens, you know, when you allow a culture in that will not work with yours. You will have to work with theirs or die, you know. We're seeing a lot of that in Europe right now. And I just realized something. Okay, it is picking up that way, but on Discord itself, I have it on
sound.
On Discord itself. I'm on push to talk. There we go. Now it's going. 961 Byzantine conquest at Shadow by Nicephorus Phocas, end of the Emirate of Crete.
Sorry, but you missed a couple good spots there, but so be it.
No. They heard it.
Oh, they did have it.
Yeah, no. The like right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's picking me up here, so that's fine. Okay. This is Discord, so that doesn't dictate that. So they heard
Discord
everything.
Didn't get it.
Yeah, well, we're the only ones on Discord right now. So
right now.
Yeah.
If someone picks it up later.
No. This is not YouTube. Discord is not YouTube.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Try to explain Discord and YouTube to a boomer, everybody. I've tried.
Thanks a lot.
961 Byzantine, we got that one. 1079 Persian polymath Omar Khayyam completed the Jalali calendar, a solar calendar with a precise 33-year intercalation cycle, and the basis for the Persian calendar still in use today. Wow. Still in use today.
There's a book, Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
That's
Omar
cool.
Khayyam.
Yeah.
Wow. 1204, the siege of Chateau Galliard ended in a French victory over King John of England, whom lost control of Normandy to King Philip II Augustus. All right. So this guy's just a loser. Yeah. Moving on up to the 1400s here, 1454, we have the 13 Years' War. Delegates of the Prussian Confederation pledged allegiance to the Grand Duke of Lithuania and the King of Poland, Casimir IV, who agreed to help them in their struggle for independence from the Teutonic Knights. All right. Now, 1479, Treaty of Alcovares. Portugal ceded the Canary Islands to Castile in exchange for claims in West Africa. So, you know, trading lands like Pokemon cards and all that stuff.
The Canary Islands.
Canary Islands. Well, I mean, you know what? Now I want to start a canning company to stuff birds into a can. The Canning Canary Islands.
But isn't it the Canary Islands?
I think you're right. No, I'm just trying to be stupid. I don't really have to try that hard. So,
No. You roll this stuff off pretty damn good. We talked about that yesterday.
1529, Portuguese navigator Fernand Magellan was the first European to sight Guam in the Western Pacific. All right. 1590, Dutch and English army led by Maurice of Nassau captured heavily protected city of Breda using a small assault force hidden in a peat barge. Wow, talk about sneaking in and all that stuff. 1646, Joseph Jenks received the first patent in North America for making scythes from the General Court of Massachusetts. Oh, wait, we aren't here yet. Oh, I guess I didn't get the scythe picture. Yeah. I'm just going to find this really quick here because I thought that was the scythe picture, but I ended up not collecting it earlier. Yeah, this is the scythe picture I was thinking of right there. So. What is this? Ironworks. The company of undertakers for the ironworks, consisting of English gentlemen and colonists, erected a furnace on this site. Okay, well, this is something entirely different. What else do we got here? 1651. The town of Kajani, known at the time as Kajanabureg, was founded by Count Purbry, the Governor General of Finland. That. To most people, they'd be like, okay, whatever. But I mean, 1651.
Yeah, come on.
This town, known at the time of Kajanabureg, so that either dictates it has to still be around. Let me look this up. Let me see if it's even still around. The town of Kajani. Let's see here, Kajani, Finland. Yeah, it's still around.
There you go.
So,
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
a long time.
Yeah, that's why I talk about it. 1661, in his will, French Cardinal Mazarin bequeathed his famous library to the Collège des Quatre des Champs, part of the University of Paris, opening in 1689. Now the oldest public library in France.
Oh, geez.
Awesome. 1665, Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society began publications. The first Joint Secretary of the Royal Society, Henry Oldenburg, published the first issue of the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society, the world's longest-running scientific journal.
Jeez.
1775, the first black stadium mason in North America was initiated in Boston, Freemason. So the first, the primary source edited, it used to say the first Negro Mason, but now it's, it was the first African American. Oh, that first word black. The first black guy. You want to segregate, call them what they are, because if you're going to use the word African American to describe black people, look at Elon Musk.
Wait a minute, this isn't segregation. This is important. This is a first black guy. That's important.
He's a guy. He's a person. He's a human.
Yeah, but nevertheless, it's a breakthrough. They broke the glass ceiling.
Only when you look at color. 1788, the British First Fleet arrived at Australian territory of Norfolk Island to found a convict settlement. Now remember, 1788. Mm-hmm. Well, what was going on at around that time? On the Revolution. The American Revolution.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing this up because people don't really, and I've mentioned this before, but Australia at least.
Wait a second, that's the Revolution.
Yeah, wasn't the Civil War.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is,
right.
the British started using Australia as a penal colony because they lost their original spot, which was the colonies. Yes. So they still had to ship it out.
I'm not a crook. You probably are.
Yeah. Yep. 1808. Actually, no. I'm image searching this really quick. The map here. The voyage. Can I get a bigger version of this? Doesn't look like I'm going to. Open image in new tab. Come on, give me a bigger image. Well, this is the route of the first. So it looks like they were here and then they landed here, and then they went down to South America, and then they were South Africa again, and then they ended up Australia.
Yeah.
So obviously, they're not looking for spots to stop. They're restocking. Getting water.
Yeah.
Rest, all that stuff. So. I mean, look at that. Look at what we made them do. So instead of just coming this way, they have to go all the way to Hellengon that way.
Yeah.
Because there was no way to get to that side.
No.
The Cape of Good Hope or whatever this is, very dangerous.
Yeah.
And there was no Panama Canal. So, and Northwest Passage. That's crazy to think. The only way to get to that side of the world was this way. I mean, that is wild. What else do we got here? 1808, first college orchestra in the U.S. was founded at Harvard and Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Orchestra, huh?
Yeah. 1810, Illinois passed the first state vaccination legislation in the U.S. That's when the tyranny starts. 1816, Jews were expelled from the free imperial city of Lubeck. Why? Why does this keep happening? 4 years later, 1820, the Missouri Compromise was signed into law by President James Monroe. This compromise allowed Missouri to enter the Union as a slave state, bringing Maine in the Union as a free state, and made the rest of the northern part of Louisiana Purchase territory slave-free. So as I mentioned before, there was a huge...
That's complicated.
Oh, yeah. No, there was a huge war going on in politics, for generations before we actually had a civil war.
We talked yesterday. When was the Louisiana Purchase again?
1803.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up again, actually, though. When was the Louisiana... Here we go. Totally screwing up Louisiana. 1803, yeah.
Okay,
so,
good pull.
Yeah. But what was it that I wanted to look at?
So there was a give and take here.
Yeah, well, as I said yesterday, for 40, 50 some odd years before the Civil War,
Yeah.
there was a political battle. Like, the North got a state to have one extra seat in the House of Representatives. Then the South got a state to balance it out. Then they got another state to get their one up.
Yeah.
So it was a
That's
constant.
what it was with Missouri. And what was it, Maine?
That's why this is so complicated and everything.
And then the rest of Louisiana Purchase was free, even though it wasn't states, had no votes.
Yeah, the northern part of the Louisiana Purchase. Territory slave free.
Yeah, above Missouri. That was a compromise.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the Mason-Dixon line. I've heard of that, but I don't remember what that refers to.
Well, no, that's the line between the North and the South.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Dixie. That's her anthem or whatever. There's something Dixie or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. 1831.
Dixon's, well, maybe it's a song. I thought it was a name.
Yeah.
Mason and Dixon.
Yeah, well, no, it is a name, but then there's like a Dixie song.
Yes.
So,
down here in Dixie or whatever it is.
And then let's not forget the Dixie Chicks renamed themselves to the Chicks a while ago. So
they did?
Yeah. But then all the,
So they're just called the Chicks?
They're just called the Chicks now. That was a long time ago. But now I think they're just called the, because Chicks is sexist, or it's what's the word? Transphobic or some bullshit. So now they're just called the.
Well, at least they didn't just call themselves Dixies. And then they shorten it. Then it really gets confusing.
The Dick Chicks? Well,
No.
That's more inclusive. Huh.
Yeah, I was leaving the chick part off. Okay, where do we go with stuff? This is history. We're rewriting history. Okay, move
1831, Edgar Allan Poe was court-martialed and dismissed from West Point Military Academy for gross neglect of duty and disobedience of orders. Wow.
Busy writing.
Yeah, I never knew he.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I never knew he went to West Point.
I didn't either. 1834, Toronto was incorporated with William Leon Mackenzie as its first mayor. York, Upper Canada, was incorporated as Toronto. So, all right.
Incorporated cities, okay.
Yeah. So, what was York, they turned into Toronto.
Incorporate them into a country or something, but no.
No, they became...
They incorporated.
Yeah, they incorporated into a city. Yeah. 1835, Volume 1 of Thomas Carlyle's famous work, The French Revolution in History, was accidentally burned by a maid using it as a fire starter before its publication. Carlyle did rewrite it. However, I hope he fired that maid, because how stupid do you have to be to throw a book or a bunch of papers? A fire starter, don't just assume shit. Ask your master. That's dumb. 1836, Battle of the Alamo. Here we go. After 13 days of fighting, 1,500 to 3,000 Mexican soldiers overwhelmed the Texan defenders, killing 182 to 257 Texans, including William Travis, Jim Bowie, and Davy Crockett. Mm-hmm. Remember the Alamo. Yeah. Remember the Alamo.
That saying lives today.
Yes, and that's actually part of the title today. Remember the Alamo, Trampoline, and Silly Putty, and more. So, but let me look up an image search of this, because it told me to image search it. Oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I have an image of this. It's kind of small, but this is, you see all the Mexican troops. They're already in the walls. They're scaling the walls.
Ooh,
they're in the walls.
Wow.
You have a guy up on the corner.
What a great
firing a cannon.
That.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
man.
Scary.
Yeah.
And over here, they're already lining up and they're shooting.
They have no shot.
Yeah. So. Yeah. What else do we... Oh, yeah. Told me to image search this. Probably because of, all these different images and everything. This looks... Actually, that doesn't really look AI. There's good old Davy Crockett with his...
that looks like a painting.
Raccoon skin cap right there.
Not necessarily AI, but...
No, it's not AI. That looks like... Well, it might be AI. Although it's too small. That has to be a painting. Yeah. Because, AI wouldn't have such detail like this in the background uniformly. You can tell that those are line troops of the Mexican soldiers. Anyway, moving on up. What else do we got here? 1857, Dred Scott decision. Oh, this one's terrible. Brace yourself. U.S. Supreme Court ruled that black Stadians cannot be U.S. citizens. And a ruling of 7-2 in the Dred Scott versus Stanford case that the Constitution does not confer citizenship on black people. Bullshit. Yes, it does. It does today, thank God. So, I was telling you to image search this. Oh yeah, it has a whole thing here to read. the Dred Scott decision. So let me see if this is going to... No, well, let's see here. In the case of Dred Scott versus Stanford, the Supreme Court ruled that black men, whether free or enslaved, had, quote, no rights with a white man, or which a white man was bound to respect, end quote. Scott, who claimed that he was freed when his master took him to a northern state which did not allow slavery, saw his petition rejected. Moreover, the court ruled that southern slave owners could take their slaves, their property, to any part of the United States they wished. Northerners were outraged at the nation that slavery was legal anywhere in the country. I'm outraged. That is absolutely abysmal.
Well, that just proves how, and this is not the only decisions the Supreme Court made. They were wrong.
Absolutely
just
wrong. Absolutely wrong.
So they are the supreme law of the land, decision of laws, but they don't always get it right. And there's a number of things that have been reversed over the years.
Thank God.
But that's just, I had heard of it, but I didn't realize that past.
When I first saw that, I almost threw up. You know, it's just like, wow.
I knew the Dred Scott decision was about a black guy and all that, but I didn't realize it was to that degree.
Now, we will be talking about Dred Scott again here in a very interesting way. But before so, let's go on up here to 1861. The Provisionary Confederate Congress established the Confederate Army. Yep. 1869, Dmitry Mendeleev presented the first periodic table of the elements to the Russian Chemical Society. This is what it looks like.
Are you kidding
now.
me? The
first one, yes. The first table of elements.
Holy cow.
Yes. And actually, let's look it up. Table of Elements 2026 is. There's been more added since I was in school.
Oh, sure, they've a lot of difference.
So
since you were in school.
Well, no, since I was because remember Alice, she and I had a conversation actually about this, and since we were in school, there have been more elements discovered, synthesized, whatever. So the elements we were taught, it has been expanded since we were in school.
Wow.
So let alone since the first. So you can see the drastic difference between these two, the first to today.
Yeah.
So it's wild. 1882, we got that one. Monarch Milan Obrenović of Serbia crowned himself king, thus refounding the Kingdom of Serbia. So the Serbian kingdom was refounded. 1886, the first U.S. alternating current power plant starts, Great Barrington, Massachusetts. That sounds like good old Nikola Tesla.
Yes, he did win out. He had to. I mean, the other one wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Direct current just wasn't going to be practical.
Yep.
Doesn't travel.
1886 as well, the first U.S. nurses magazine, The Nightingale, first appeared in New York City, I believe named after Florence Nightingale, or had something to do involving her, because when I was image searching this, her name was coming up in the titles. So this is a portion, as you can see, it's cut off, but this is what the title looked like. Queen's Nurse Magazine, Laborare est orar. It sounds like Latin for something. 1895, England beat Australia to win one of the best cricket series ever, 3-2. Jack Brown hit the fastest 50 in Test cricket in 28 minutes. All right, I had to. 1896, the first auto in Detroit. Charles B. King rode his horseless carriage.
Ooh.
First automobile in Detroit. Look at that. 1899, aspirin, acetylsalicylic acid, was patented by Felix Hoffmann at the German company of Bayer.
Ah.
Yep. And Bayer has so much shady history. Like they worked hand in hand with the Nazis. They utilized slave labor from the Jews during the Holocaust. Bayer is disgusting and evil, and people really need to learn their history and stop buying their crap. 1900, after a meeting in Indianapolis, United States, a group formed the Social Democratic Party and nominated Eugene Debs as its candidate for president in the forthcoming election. Surprise, surprise. The Social Democratic Party became the Socialist Party 1 year later in 1901. Freaking fascists. 1901, speaking of which, in Bremen, an assassin attempted to kill Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany. Whoa. So we spoke about somebody trying to kill, there's been a lot of assassinations, but I'm starting to pay more attention to assassination attempts. As well.
Oh, yeah.
Because Queen Victoria, we covered her.
Oh, that was amazing. That surprised me.
Yeah, she was trying to get on a train and somebody shot at her or something.
Yeah.
And then this guy, now this is the second time I think that we've read an attempt on Wilhelm II here. Moving on to 1902, permanent U.S. Census Office created by legislation passed by Congress. Well, we will need to know, who lives here. I mean, unless, of course, they're the right color in today's world, but, thank God that's being reversed now. So, 904, the Japanese fleet bombarded Vladivostok, the major Russian port in the Pacific. So Japan, attacking, all the way back then. We also have the Scottish National Antarctic Expedition, led by William Spears Bruce. The Antarctic region of Coachland was discovered from the Scotia, and the Scotia being the name of the ship.
Oh, okay.
So, named after Nova Scotia, of course.
Yeah,
so
got to be where it's from or something.
The ship name is the Scotia.
Yeah.
Like how, we went to the USS Iowa, this is the Scotia. 1900, and that was from my other source, so it's not here. 1912, Italo-Turkish War. Italian forces became the first to use airships in war as two dirigibles dropped bombs on Turkish troops encamped at Janjwar from an altitude of 6,000 feet or 1,800 meters. Now, what's interesting is that I actually used the image yesterday, but yesterday they were using airships for reconnaissance. Like the first use of airships in a military setting was used during the Italo-Turkish War. And remember, it showcased the bomb. Yeah. But that actually was today. Yesterday was reconnaissance, and today is destruction.
Hey, while we're up there, let's drop some bombs on them.
I know, right? Well, I mean, think about it. Like just think about the concept of bombs. Mm-hmm. Now you have to either have them have a long enough fuse to reach the ground, but not just sit there waiting to explode because somebody could just come and defuse it and then use it against you, or some kind of time or some kind of pressure detonated. Like all of that technology we take for granted.
They had pressure detonated in the beginning, anyways. I don't know how long it would take to get that, but that I would think would take some time to come.
When was pressure detonation for bombs invented? Explosion. Well, is this just telling me about explosion?
No, well, wait a minute. Your bullet is pressure sensitive.
Oh, here we go. No, that's to launch it, not to explode. Yeah. The concept of pressure detonation for bombs, such as the implosion design for the plutonium bomb, was developed during World War II, specifically around 1944 by physicist Seth Niedermeyer at Los Alamos. Okay, so before that, it was either timed or, well, I guess it was always timed. However long the fuse is.
Yeah.
So, 1918, the U.S. naval boat Cyclops disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. All right. Well, maybe if they had two eyes instead of being a Cyclops.
Or maybe there's enough speed that it just, in impact, makes an explosion on itself.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Because that's what I'm talking about. Pressure. If it hits something hard enough.
Then it will blow up. About a detonation.
Well,
I'm talking about the.
Well, I am talking about a detonation.
Okay, well, maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
1921.
I'm going backwards.
Yeah, 1921. Police in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, issued an edict requiring women to wear skirts at least 4 inches below the knee. All right.
Ooh.
Well, I'm all for that. I mean, seriously.
Bring back the miniskirt.
Well, I mean, think about this. You have sayings like, dress for the job you want, not the one you have, And then, your confidence or lack thereof, is dictated to how you dress, how you feel. Mm-hmm. So, with it being so common with females being so scantily clad, maybe there's a correlation between that and infidelity. Because, they have all this confidence. I'm a bad bitch. I don't need no man. I'll sleep with whoever I want, Okay. I mean, there's a lot of that attitude, and maybe that was being stemmed by keeping people humble, I mean, people need a leash. But if you
want to mandate it, that's the point. Yeah, I'll agree with you that
I don't want to mandate
will
it.
Reflects society's attitudes for sure.
I don't want to mandate it, but society as a whole needs to get better morals. That's for sure.
Oh, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, and here's a picture of the bear aspirin thing. Yeah. And this is the Antarctic thing.
Ah.
It looks weird because you can't you can't tell.
So white.
Yeah. It kind of hurts the eyes looking at it. We'll get to that in a minute. What else do we got here? 1922, George Bernard Shaw's largest scale play, Back to Methuselah Part 2, opened at the Garrick Theater.
About that.
Yeah, I think we talked about Part 1.
Yeah.
So, opened up at the Garrick Theater in New York City, running for 25 performances.
And I believe I mentioned, if there was a Part 1, what happened to Part 2?
Now, hold on a second. This one says Back to Methuselah 3 out of 4.
Man, more than... still going.
But this is the same thing. So is this part 2 or is this part 3 out of 4? We have a
I'm
discrepancy.
thinking, well, we already had part 1, so I'm thinking this is part 2.
Okay. That makes sense. 1924, British Labour government cut military budget. From what to what, though?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
A little more information would have been healthy.
1 century ago, China asked for a seat on the Security Council. On this calendar date, March the 6th, 1926. 2020. 1930, International Unemployment Day demonstrations globally initiated by the Comintern. That sounds like Russia to me, but it says globally. So, International Unemployment Day, and we have a bunch of images here. Organized by the Communist International, hundreds of thousands of people in major cities around the world marched to protest mass unemployment associated with the Great Depression. Of course, the freaking communists took advantage of the Great Depression. 33, Eleanor Roosevelt was the first lady to hold an official press conference at the White House. So I wonder if that's where all this crap started. With Bill Burr brought this up. Remember when he was talking about how the first ladies all of a sudden feel the need to shoehorn themselves in now that they can ride the coattails of their husband?
Yeah.
A great example is Michael Obama, who tried to, dictate her fascist health regime on our entire nation.
A little respect.
I'll give respect when you're fucking voted into that office. Until then, shut your yap. I'm not talking to you, talking to Michelle. You're the wife. You're not the president.
Yeah.
Learn your place. 1933, FDR declared a nationwide bank holiday to shut down the banking system, passed the Emergency Banking Act, and restored public confidence. We spoke about that yesterday. So I guess this is when he did it, or something. 1933, Poland occupied the free city of Danzig, or Gdansk. I guess it's not free anymore.
Wasn't then.
Yeah. That's weird, Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah, occupied the free city of Danzig. That's right, Danzig, Poland, Gdansk, Poland. Huh. Okay. 1936, Belgium ended the Locarno Pact. What did that entail? I didn't want to delete that. I wanted to look it up, copy it. Locarno Treaty. To guarantee the existing boundaries of Belgium, France, and Germany, and an agreement by Belgium, France, and Germany not to attack one another. Ha! And to settle conflicts by peaceful means, with a protocol and a note to the German government on the Covenant of the League of Nations. Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's hysterical.
Boy, does that have backup right? Not at
all. Okay. Locarno Pact. I'm going to add this to the underbar section. The description. This link will be there after the live stream. 1940, we have the first U.S. telecast from an airplane in New York City. So they telegraphed, up in the air in an airplane. That's cool.
Yeah.
1940, Robin, Dick Grayson, debuted as Batman's sidekick in issue 38 of Detective Comics by DC Comics.
Wow.
And here you go.
Yeah.
Robin, the boy wonder. And the start of the question, is Batman a pedophile? Oh. I mean, he dresses up in skin-tight spandex, makes his underage, ward do the same. They go out and fight crime. He puts them in danger. I mean, it's very weird. It's a little weird. Why, 1943, Battle of Medellin, or when Rommel's Axis forces counterattacked in North Africa to delay an attack by the British on the Merit Line in Tunisia. It was an attempt to slow down the British 8th Army. It ultimately failed. And Erwin Rommel, or General Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, left Africa 3 days later.
I was just going to say, they got to be close to getting out of there, because I would have thought they were out of there by then. But,
yeah. Just about, yeah. 1943 as well, during World War II, the Battle of Far-di-Campos, one of the first major battles between the Greek resistance and the occupying Royal Italian Army, ended with the surrender of an entire Italian battalion, the bulk of the garrison of the town of Gravina, leading to its liberation a fortnight later.
Italian battalion.
Italian battalion. That sounds like a band name.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No. That's great. That sounds like a spaghetti version of the Beatles. The Italian battalion. Like what was it? They were like the British invasion. Now we have the Italian battalion. But what was I going to say?
Know.
Oh yeah, fortnight being 2 weeks. Not that stupid video game that everybody's playing. 1944, also during World War II, British and Canadian sailors boarded an abandoned German U-boat, U-774, seeking an Enigma coding machine, but they were forced to scuttle the sub when efforts to tow it failed. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
We also have Soviet air forces bombed an evacuated town of Narva in German-occupied Estonia, destroying the entire historical Swedish-era town. Wow. And it's kind of small, but you know, you can see that the roofs are gone. These are bombed out.
Yeah.
That is very tragic. But see, that kind of coincides with the whole like mud flood, the reset, you know, the Tartaria mystery and all that stuff. Like World War II did so many things. Like they got rid of the bells, they got rid of so much history, they bombed so many things. It almost seems like an intentional event to destroy the past, cover it up, make new history, and in a generation or two, nobody would be any the wiser. You know? I don't know.
Well, possibly from one side, but not the other.
Well, it's something to look into, but like it's a whole global thing. Like, you know, everybody's in conjunction with it. Like, remember, I'm always bringing this up with the fires. Hey, look into it. You know, I'm not trying to get you to believe me. You don't believe me, that's fine. But if you're not even going to look into it, then you really don't have any right to say one way or another.
I didn't say one way or another.
1945, Dutch resistance fighters killed 2 and injured 1 Nazi officer in an attempt to hijack food supplies at De Woesthoeve, Netherlands. All right, well, they're trying. So, 1945 as well, George Neeson of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, received a patent for the first modern trampoline.
Oh!
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the trampoline.
They used to have, a real popular deal was trampoline parks. You go in there, be 10, 15 trampolines in there.
Oh, they're still popular.
And you go, well, they had to close them all down because they couldn't insure them. People were getting hurt. So
well, you had to sign a waiver. Nowadays, you sign a waiver.
Well, then they just shut them down.
Yeah.
It went from a bunch to none.
Well, no, there's a trampoline park just down the street.
Well, there may be now.
Yeah.
They shut them down.
Oh,
then.
wait, yeah, you're talking back then. Okay. I thought you were talking about like 10 years ago or so.
No, I'm talking about the 60s.
Oh,
Early 60s.
You got to give what you're saying some context so I know what you're talking about.
Ah.
Because back then, like, I'm old enough to have it back then now. Okay? So you got to tell me. Hey, what are you talking about,
Your back then is nothing. It's not even back.
Yeah. 1945, during World War II, Cologne was captured by U.S. troops. I wonder if it smelled good. On the same day, Operation Spring Awakening, it kind of sounds like a fragrance, the Spring Awakening at Cologne, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
The new fragrance from Dior. The last major German offensive of the war began. All right.
The new flavor of my Dior is not going to be pleasant.
It's a fragrance, not the flavor.
That fragrance, I mean, yeah. Screwed that line up.
Yep. 1946, France recognized Vietnam statehood within the Indo-Chinese Federation. All right. Ho Chi Minh signed an agreement with France which recognized Vietnam as an autonomous state in the Indo-Chinese Federation and the French Union. All right, so then why did we have a war?
Well, because the French didn't agree with it.
He signed an agreement with France.
I thought China, it says, who signed the agreement?
Ho Chi Minh, the president of Northern Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm connecting him to China. Okay, signed it with France. Okay, I thought...
You're thinking of Chiang Kai-shek, which isn't even... Well, which is actual China, which is now Taiwan. No.
I thought it was Vietnam
This is Vietnam.
I thought it was Vietnam signing...
With China.
With China,
yeah.
Yes.
No, this is Ho Chi Minh.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
1950, Silly Putty went on sale in the U.S.
Nice.
Yeah. I have some of that somewhere. 1951, trial of Julius Rosenberg and his wife Ethel Rosenberg began for providing top secret information to the Soviet Union. Yeah. I hope they swung them high.
They were executed.
Good. Frickin' traitors. 1953, Malikov, Georgy Malikov, succeeded Joseph Stalin as premier of the Soviet Union and first secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union.
Wasn't that long?
Yeah. Well, this was all in the Death of Stalin movie. Yeah.
Died real quick.
Yeah. This guy, I don't know who the actor was who played this guy, but then the guy who played, I don't remember even. It was Steve Buscemi, but I don't remember who it was that he was playing. But somebody else.
I don't think it was Khrushchev.
Nikita Khrushchev?
Maybe.
Hold on a second.
I wonder if he did die. Now that you think about it, you wonder if he did die of natural causes. Power struggle got him. Who knows?
Well, let's see here. Georgy Malenkov died of natural causes at the age of 86.
That's what they say.
Yeah, what they say.
But who followed him?
That is a good question. Who is this? Who was after Malenkov? List of leaders of Soviet Malenkov after Joseph yada yada yada.
You can't give it just a quick...
Lavrenti Beera got killed. I know that.
Okay.
This is going to require...
Go.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm just going to get rid of all this. Let's keep on going here.
By the way, are you watching the time for me?
Potatoes.
Okay.
Yep. While he's putting the potatoes in the oven, I'm going to keep on going. 1957 centenary of Dred Scott slavery court decision marked by rediscovery of Scott's grave.
Oh,
so they rediscovered it. 1957, Ghana, formerly the Gold Coast, declared independence from the United Kingdom. The first sub-Saharan country to gain such things from the British. Awesome. 1959, farthest radio signal was heard from Pioneer 4, 400,000 miles away. 1 year after that, President Sukarno of Indonesia disbanded existing parliament and replaced it with a new grouping, half appointed by himself. We covered this, or something like this, yesterday, but I'm sure we covered this. And it didn't say half, it said the whole thing yesterday. 61, the first London minicabs were introduced. Let's take a look at that. Let's see here. The first London minicabs. Oh, these guys, okay. These little things. Tiny things. What else do we got here? 1962, St. Louis voted to build a new downtown stadium for the Cardinals, on the taxpayers' expense, of course. 1962, U.S. promised Thailand assistance against communist aggression. And did we provide it? Did the communists take them over? I'm not sure. Is Thailand a communist? That's a good question. Is Thailand communist? Yes, Thailand is a country. Politics in Thailand. They have a constitution. Parliamentary constitutional monarchy. No, that does not sound like a communist society to me. 1964, boxing legend Cassius Clay joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Ali, calling his former title a slave name. Okay. 64 as well, Constantine succeeded Paul I as king of Greece. And we have a discrepancy here. It says Constantine II became the last king of Greece. So it wasn't, Constantine or Constantine II. Either way, he became king of Greece and ultimately the last king. And did you hear what I said right before you came in the door?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. All right. Which is really interesting because we're going to be talking about him once again, in its own little weird way. 1965, we have the first non-stop helicopter crossing of North America by J.R. Wilford. All right. Can you imagine flying a chopper for 3,000 miles? It's crazy.
No, I can't.
1965, the Temptations single, My Girl, My Girl, My Girl, My Girl, reached number 1 on the Billboard Pop Chart, written and produced by the Miracles members Smokey Robinson and Ronald White. 1967, Joseph Stalin's daughter, Svetlana Aliyevna, approached the U.S. Embassy in New Delhi, India, asking for political asylum. Yeah, and actually, interestingly enough, in the movie Death of Stalin, his daughter and his crazy ass son, you should know what it's like to have one of those. We're also in the movie and all that stuff. So we gotta watch the Death of Stalin. It's a good movie. You'd like it.
I think I would.
Yeah. 1967, Muhammad Ali was ordered by Selective Service to be inducted. That's kind of weird on the exact anniversary of when he changed his name. That almost seems a little intentional and a little Islamophobic, to be honest. 1968, 3 rebels were executed by Rhodesia, the first execution since UDI, prompting international condemnation. UDI.
With Muhammad Ali and refusing to go into the draft, he declared a conscientious objector, but it cost him his title. I mean, there's a guy that stood up for what he believed.
Yeah, that's good. That. At least he didn't end up in prison, for...
Somehow he stayed out. They would have put him there if they could have.
Well, that probably would have actually escalated to a hate crime, which makes you wonder, is he getting preferential treatment just because he's a Muslim? If a white Christian...
Well, it's denied. He claimed conscientious objector, and it was denied. So, with that, they stripped him of his heavyweight title because he wouldn't enlist in the army.
But why wouldn't they throw him in prison?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of authority they had.
1970,
Or
we
still have, for that matter. Well, they don't have the draft anymore.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if they did that because, he's a Muslim and all that stuff and they don't want to start, all that bullshit, then, what if he was a white Christian and he said the same thing? Would the same thing happen, or would he just get even more punishment because he's not a protected class?
Given him a conscientious objector if he was a white Christian?
That is a good question.
I bet you they gave it to Quakers.
That is an earth-moving theory right there.
Who knows? I'm not saying good. Oh, boo.
There you go. 1970, an explosion at the makeshift bomb factory of left-wing Weather Underground terrorist group killed 3 members in a townhouse at 18th West 11th Street in Greenwich Village, New York City. And don't forget, left-wing, it's always these terrorists. 1972, Jack Nicklaus passed Arnold Palmer as golf's all-time money winner. Not Jack Nicklaus, not Jack Nicklaus. So the golfer, not the crazy-ass actor, who...
I've always said Jack Nicholas.
Yeah, it's Jack Nicklaus.
He pronounces it Nicholas.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to separate the two because I don't want people to think it's Johnny,
Okay.
Yeah, that Jack Nicklaus. Different Jack Nicklaus.
Gotcha.
Because remember, we covered a story where Jack Nicklaus attacked something with a golf club, and I was just like, wait a minute, which one now? Because now golfing...
Okay.
So, I was confusing. But it was the actor Jack Nicklaus, but Jack Nicklaus is a golfer, and that's why I was getting confused, because now we have... golfing and that guy with the same, very similar name. Anyway, 1973, in the exhibition game with the Pirates, Twins Larry Heisel became the first designated hitter. He hit 2 home runs and knocked in 7 RBIs. All right. 74, an unnamed Italian industrialist lost a record $1,920,000 at roulette over 5 hours in Monte Carlo Casino. Wow.
Ouch.
He should have been playing craps. Because, crap. 75, Algiers Accord, Iran and Iraq, announced a settlement of their border dispute. All right. 1975, we got that one. For the first time, the Zapruder film of the assassination of John F. Kennedy was shown in motion to a national TV audience by Robert J. Groden and Dick Gregory. Yep.
Oh, Dick Gregory, jeez.
Who's Dick Gregory?
He was a comedian turned activist.
Oh,
he went on
that
a
doesn't sound
starvation
good.
diet.
Was he a bad activist? They usually are.
An activist.
I mean, like, was he, trying to fight for communism or something, or like his most
black rights, things like that.
Oh, okay. So civil rights.
To eat,
okay.
and he was a
hunger striker, is what you're saying.
Really heavy set comedian,
and
he ended up really skinny.
Dang. Well, at least at the end of the day, he was healthier. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
1976, in his 10th title defense, WBA light welterweight champion Antonio Cervantes of Colombia was beaten by 17-year-old Puerto Rican boxer Wilfred Benavidez in a 15-round split decision in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Benavidez became the youngest ever world champion. I wonder if that record has been beaten.
One quick story on what's his name, the activist.
Okay.
What's his name?
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory, thank you. He was on like the Tonight Show or one of those night shows. And, he's talking and going on. And some guest that had been before him was like an English guy or something. He goes, never eating like that. Didn't you just have a yearning for like cheesecake or something? Gregory looks at him and goes, cheesecake? I was just dying for dog food. I never forgot that. Cheesecake.
Cheesecake sounds really good right about now. 1978, Hustler publisher Larry Flint and his lawyer were shot by a militant white supremacist sniper in Georgia, leaving Flint crippled and wheelchair bound. Now, I don't know why they're bringing the white supremacist part into this, because isn't Hustler a porno mag?
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know what a white supremacist has to do with it.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. Like, is this the left? Our leftist, source trying to throw this bullshit in wherever they can?
I don't know.
Because that's a white guy. That makes no fucking sense. I have a feeling it was like some religious fanaticism, if anything.
You don't know. Was it some things he said, or I don't know. I don't know who did it.
1980, French Academy, founded in 1635, elected its first woman novelist, Marguerite Yourcenar. All right. 81, Walter Cronkite signed off as the anchor of CBS Evening News.
Yeah.
And that's the way the news goes, or whatever it was that he said.
That's the way it was.
Yes. 82, Susan Birmingham made the world's loudest recorded human shout at 120 decibels. I would have hated to be her husband. Take out the trash! Wash the dishes!
Did you hear her?
Ow.
Did you hear her?
Ow. No, her voice is annoying.
Can't you hear that?
For anybody who doesn't know what that means, just, after this video, of course, open up a new tab and look on YouTube. Deaf guy hears his wife for the first time.
There you go.
So,
There you go.
1983, U.S. Football League began its first session. Or season, I guess.
Who did?
U.S. Football League.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep. 1984, 12-month-long strike in the British coal industry began. In the UK, a walkout at Cortonwood Colliery in Brampton, Beerloo signaled the start of a strike that lasted almost a year and involved the majority of the country's miners. Now, as in, not children miners, but pickaxe miner.
Yeah.
Well, 1984, they wouldn't have children miners anymore. But over what? Like pay? Hours? What was the strike
You
about?
didn't tell us.
Yeah. 1985 as well, Inno Slaughter, what a name, and Archie Vaughan were elected to baseball's Hall of Fame. What a last name, Slaughter. So,
Yeah.
85 as well, future
No,
undisputed.
he's a great ball player.
Yeah. Future undisputed world heavyweight box champion Mike Tyson knocks out Hector Mercedes at 1 minute 47 seconds in round 1 of 4 in Albany, New York, in his first professional fight.
Well, he knocked a lot of people out.
Yep. 85 as well, including that one guy from The Hangover.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
this is my favorite part of the song. Wham! Anyway, 85, Yul Brynner appeared in his 4,500 performance of The King and I. Dun,
Wasn't he peeing in his pool or something?
No, he stole his tiger.
Yeah, but I mean, he hit him for peeing in his pool or something.
Well,
Here
yeah,
comes
that's right. He did pee in his
on
pool.
Security camera.
Wait,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm trying to remember.
Missed that
who
when I was Yul Brynner. Okay, I get it.
87, the first Lethal Weapon film starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, directed by Richard Donner, was released. Lethal Weapon, what a series. 88, Julie Crone became the winningest female jockey, 1,205 victories. 89, the Yanks beat the Mets 6-4 in exhibition game, the first meeting since 85, so 4 years. Removed from primary source for some reason. 1990, the SR-71, the Blackbird, set a transcontinental record, flying 2,404 miles in 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 17 seconds. That thing is screaming.
Wow.
Yep. 91, following Iraq's capitulation in the Persian Gulf conflict, U.S. President George H.W. Bush told Congress that aggression is defeated, the war is over, end quote. Yeah.
Yeah. Idiot.
Well, this kind of reminds me of a quote that was said recently. The bombings will continue until peace is better or something. Isn't that something Trump said? Like he said, until peace is achieved, the bombings will continue? Something like that.
I don't know.
1992, Council of the Baltic Sea States was founded. All right. We also have the Michelangelo computer virus began to take effect. That does not sound good. The Michelangelo computer virus, yeah.
Never heard of that.
I'm going to do a surface level scratch. We still have 11 minutes to go, and we're just getting into the 90s. Michelangelo computer virus. It was first discovered on February 3rd, 1991 in Australia. The virus was designed to infect DOS systems, but did not engage the operating system or make any OS calls. Michelangelo, like all boot sector viruses, operated at the BIOS level. Each year, the virus remained dormant until March 6th, the birthday of Renaissance artist Michelangelo. There is no reference to the artist in the virus, and it is doubtful that the virus developers intended a connection between the virus and the artist. The name was chosen by researchers who noticed the coincidence of the activation date.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just named after that.
Yeah.
So Michelangelo virus, computer virus. So let's gonna add this in the underbar section here. What are you gonna say?
So it got named because of the date, not for.
Yeah, it has nothing to do
The
with him
intention
at
of
least. So.
Okay.
What else do we got here? 1995, American Express Travel began charging for domestic to air tickets. Okay. No, okay. 97 as well, Picasso's painting Tete de Fenme was stolen from a London gallery. It was rediscovered a week later. Let's take a look at this work of art here. You did put the potatoes on the on the tray, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just making sure. So that was stolen.
Oh, wow.
And that's a very interesting art piece because if you look at it, it's one of these things that it can either be a face looking at you or two faces looking at each other.
Yep.
And they actually have like some sculptures of that there.
There's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, I love things like that.
I do too.
98, British Union flag began to be flown at full mast over Buckingham Palace whenever British monarch was not in residence, following change of protocol after the death of Diana, Princess of Wales. She was murdered by Queen Elizabeth II. Matt Beck, an angry lottery accountant, killed 4 at Connecticut's state lottery. Yikes. Moving on up into the year 2000. 2000. Whenever you want to make 0, you make sure that you do this. This is like some devil thing or something, so you want to do this. 2001, U.S. Secretary of Energy Spencer Abraham established the Northeast Home Heating Oil Reserve to be used in emergency circumstances. A little late, to be better late than never, though.
Yeah.
But 2001, we're still making reserves. You would have thought we would have had that down pat 80 years ago. 2006, South Dakota Governor Mike Brown signed a bill into law banning most types of abortion in the state. 2007, former White House aide I. Lewis Libby Jr. was found guilty on 4 of 5 counts in a perjury and obstruction of justice trial. Send them to the brig. 2012, 9,000 residents were evacuated from Wagga Wagga, Australia, as the Murrumbidgee River threatened to overflow. 2013, 9 people died after a plane crashed after being ensnared in power lines in Peru. Whoa, that sucks. Good. Can you imagine how that would have felt? Like boing, like yikes. 2013, Microsoft was fined 561 million euros, or 731 million US dollars, by the Euro Commission for failing to respect an antitrust settlement to provide options to choose an alternative web browser. Yeah, Microsoft has got to cut their shit.
Yeah, but did they pay it?
Well, of course they did.
Well, how do you know? Of course they did.
Well, if they didn't, then
they could have cut deals or fought it for years and then cut a deal. Who knows? I guess I'm saying, did they pay any or all of it?
That is a good question. If anybody can let us know, let us in the comment section. But we have 8 minutes left, and we're in 2013.
Fire away.
Syrian rebels captured Al-Ragar, their first major city. In 2014, Crimean Parliament voted unanimously to make the Crimea part of Russia. 2015, NASA's Dawn space probe entered orbit around the dwarf planet Ceres. So there we go. The whole is Pluto planet thing. They're calling this a dwarf planet, as I said. 2015 as well, U.S. State Department charged 2 Vietnamese and a Canadian citizen with cyber fraud for stealing 1 billion email addresses for spam. Wow. That's a lot of meat there. 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump signed his second executive order barring travelers from 6 mostly Muslim countries for 90 days, but left out Iraq. That's kind of weird to leave out Iraq. But, I guess you always need a place to put something. Put it on the Iraq,
No.
What were you going to say?
No.
Apple Iraq. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I gotta show that video to you. It's hilarious. 2017 as well. WikiLeaks published Vault 7 CIA documents detailing its hacking and surveillance techniques. Julian Assange. I wonder if he's still alive.
That's a good question.
I know he was extradited, unfortunately, through political bullshit that we were doing, and we finally were able to get him out.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, like he was in I think Venezuela, some South American's embassy in Britain. Yeah. And then we did some political trickery with that country, which allowed us to, they allowed us to go into their embassy. No. Like we fucked that country to get access to that embassy in Britain. Yeah. No, we played so many backhanded deals and did so much horrible things, all to go after somebody who's only trying to wake people up to what our government is doing. So obviously they're going to go after him. It's terrible. I mean, I brought this up earlier. You look at Edward Snowden.
Yeah, another one.
And like the Western world is always like, oh, blah blah, Russia's evil, Putin bad, blah blah blah. Yet this guy who's exposing the corruption of the government, our government is saying this guy is bad, and this other guy is bad. Meanwhile, Putin is being more humane to Edward Snowden than we ever were. So what does that say?
Well, it says Russia has their own people that are in prison and everything else.
Absolutely true.
Speaking out.
But we shouldn't have made him flee.
No, I agree with that.
2018, U.S. World War II aircraft carrier USS Lexington rediscovered in Australia's Coral Sea, was lost during the 1942 Battle of the Coral Sea, of course. In 2018, British health officials told the country it is time, quote, to get on a diet, end quote, and urging manufacturers to reduce calories in food. How about this for an idea? Lead by example. Force never works. Society needs to be guided, not dictated. So learn how to govern, not to force. 2018, Forbes named Amazon founder Jeff Bezos the world's richest person for the first time at $112 billion. Bill Gates at number 2. Freaking money hoarders. We also have Nashville Mayor Megan Barry resigned a month after admitting to an extramarital affair with her bodyguard. 2018, Sri Lanka imposed the first nationwide state of emergency since civil war after unrest between Sinhalese and Muslim areas in Kandy district. But when was there civil war? Was it a year before or 40 years before? I mean, the first state of emergency since civil war. Oh, gee, that sounds awesome. But when?
Yeah.
If it was a year ago, it wouldn't be that awesome. If it was 50 years ago, it would be that crazy. If that was the first time they had to use the nationwide state of emergency. Give me context. 2018 as well, the world's oldest message in a bottle was found in Western Australia. Thrown from the German ship Paula 132 years ago on June 12, 1886. At least they dated it.
Was it a ship in distress or what?
I don't know, but it was thrown from the ship.
Yeah.
The German ship Paula. That's a good question. Was the ship in distress? Let us know in the comments. 2019, Facebook head Mark Zuckerberg revealed plans to turn the social media platform into a more, quote, privacy-focused platform, end quote. Bullshit. Privacy my ass.
Good old Zuck bucks.
Yeah, Zucker Nazi. Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck. 2019, U.S. trade deficit rose to a 10-year high of $621 billion. That doesn't sound good. 2020, Russia refused to reduce oil production over Kung flu fears, breaking with Saudi Arabia and OPEC and prompting a price war. All right. 2021, Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama was vaccinated against the Kung flu in Dharamshala, India, and urged others to do so. I don't know, man. I think that might have been a deep fake. Like the Dalai Lama, I don't think he'd fall for this crap. So it's they either forced him to, or they cloned him, or it's a deep fake or something. But I think this is propaganda. 2021, U.S. Senate passed $1.9 trillion Kung flu relief bill, the American Rescue Plan. What a waste of taxpayer dollars right there. 2025, last but not least, the spacecraft Athena, carrying a NASA ice drill built by Intuitive Machines, Texas, landed on its side of the moon, ending its mission. What was the mission? Why do we have an ice drill?
If you got an ice drill, it's got a mission of some sort.
Yeah.
You can't land and end your mission.
I guess the spacecraft ended its mission, so the ice drill could start its. Because this is about the spacecraft Athena carrying the drill, built by Intuitive Machines.
How do you know? Because there's no communication on the other side of the moon. How do you know it didn't crash land?
I don't know. But this is about the spacecraft Athena, not the ice drill. Athena was carrying the ice drill, but its mission was to land on the moon, which it did, thus ending its mission, the mission
then
for
why
Athena.
mention the ice drill? That's
because they're giving us details of what it was carrying. So, I don't know. Anyway, that shall conclude the show for today. Where's my script? I'm nothing without my script. Don't forget to look, wow, I'm way screwed up. Don't forget to check the underbar in the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion of what happened. All this happened on this calendar date throughout the annals of recorded history. March 6th. These were all March 6th. So please, go check our sources. Continue your journey of self-education. For your dose of passive events daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm A.O. Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, thank you so much for coming in and watching us. Until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! Hey, we got to get the broccoli in the microwave now. It's about that time. And then meatloaf and scallop potatoes.
Now I'm thinking